All right, so again, it is Dr. Stephanie Wall here, and let's see who we got here with us today. Who do we have with us today, and how do you serve?
Hey, Dr. Stephanie. My name is Dr. Dave Nguyen, and I serve by I create algorithms to measure medical shapes better, so that we can create better diagnostics that are race and gender specific. And the second way I serve is I teach the public, right, about how they can talk to their lawmakers to reduce this problem called racial bias in medical AI. The solution is not going to come from scientists, right? That's the big misconception. The solution is going to come from voters, right? Because we have to pass laws that change the behavior of scientists, right, who collect data, right? That's the only way we're going to solve this problem, because it's only going to get worse. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dave, you're talking my language. You know, I'm all about the data points, because at the end of the day, what do we look at? The data. And where does the data come? The people that get put the data, and where and who decides, and we have to help them look for the right information. Oh, I'm loving it. All right, so tell me this. How do you help the people, your clients? How do you help the people that tuning in? How will you help them to succeed?
Yeah, I think in talking about the importance of genetic differences in sort of race, right? Genetics is a double-edged sword, right? On one hand, there are genetic differences between races, and that affects how diseases manifest, right? We need to understand them in order to better treat, right, diseases. But it's a double-edged sword, because if you don't talk about it responsibly, right, the listener can end up feeling ashamed, right, of their genetics, right, and stereotypes and whatnot. And that will prevent them from seeking medical care. That will prevent them from participating in clinical trials and things like that. So this ends up making the data bias problem even worse, right? And so part of what I do is I equip them with the right questions to ask, and sort of the freedom, right? The freedom from being bullied by not understanding genetics, or being afraid of the genetics being abused, right, for discriminatory purposes. And I think that's a message that I like to spread, because it's important just for to be people, but it's important to solve this problem of data bias that affects everybody, right? It's not just one particular race, right? It affects everybody. By the year 2060, 2/3 of the United States population will be people of color, right? And that means that if our AI, and the future of medicine is going to be AI, because we have too few doctors, too few nurses, right? COVID has told us what the limit of our hospital systems are, right? And COVID is still around, right? And anytime another RSV or flu pops up, then we realize, right, COVID's still around, because our hospitals suddenly fill up, right? So we know that our hospitals, our medical system has limited capacity, and we will deploy more and more AI to help us make predictions, right, and medical decisions. But if that AI is biased and makes wrong predictions, more people will suffer, right? And that ends up causing down the line an economic problem too, right?
Well, wait a minute. You just, and thank you for that. You said RS. What was the
RSV? Yeah.
What's that?
It's a respiratory virus that's been affecting a lot of children, right? So a lot of children, because they've been masking up against COVID, they haven't been exposed to strains that normally would have just passed through without a major effect, right?
Okay. Well, no, this is let me I don't want you to give them all of the meat and potatoes, because I want them to tune in, because the next voice that you all will be hearing, and thank you, Dave, the next voice that you all will be hearing will be Dave's. You'll be hearing his keynote, you'll be hearing his workshop. If you tune in, just hit the button, because this is key. This information, I don't know about you, but we've been living in a world that all of the things he's talking about are relevant to how we're living right now, and how our future of not only our future, but our family, and our future of our family and the family's family, right? So tune in so you can learn more, so that when you're having conversations in your circles and outside your circles, you have some real keys to meet, and some real authentic and some data points to share. You're not talking about what you're thinking about, you're talking about what you know and what you've heard. So tune in. The next voice you're going to hear is Dave. Dave, thank you so much. Oh, wait a minute. Dave Nguyen. Am I saying it correctly?
Yeah, I say Nguyen, but
Nguyen. Oh, that's right. No, make it right. Dave Nguyen. The next voice you're going to be hearing is Dave Nguyen, and I, for one, will be tuning in. So see you in the room. All right, you all. See you there. Dave, just good stuff.